During my spiritual awakening, I also experienced spiraling down, and it was a very sensitive time and season for me because it was a moment that I realized that I was developing bad habits through my behavior and action. And the reason why I was doing that is because the way I felt inside, which was low, sad, I needed self soothing. I needed people to feel bad for me, to validate my emotions and what I was going through that moment. And my outer world started reflecting that. And the moment I saw my outer world, which was my environment, started to look very messy. I would let dishes pile up. I wouldn't do the laundry. I would procrastinate on projects. I would procrastinate on working out or cooking or doing things that I loved for myself, doing things for myself, for resurrecting my spirits. Anything that had to do with giving and nourishing my body and myself and my spirit, I would delay and procrastinate so that I would feel like my feelings were validated. And that was a form of self sabotage. The moment I knew that and I was aware, I started changing those behaviors so that they didn't turn into bad habits and I didn't spiral down like I was. And so it was really hard to get unstuck, but it took one behavior, one action at a time, which was making sure my place was clean so that I felt good in my environment. It was making sure that I didn't disrespect my body, or that I nourish my body with good foods because I also wanted to eat out more, or do more fast food because that was calming, that was soothing for how I felt, and I felt really bad about myself. And so I started changing everything about how I felt into my external world, into my physical world, so that that didn't match how I felt, because I knew the person that was feeling that, it was just temporary. And it didn't match who I was, and it didn't match who I wanted to become. So it was very important for me to start aligning myself back to who I wanted to become and back to who I actually was and knew who I was. And so it was a mismatch, and it's just a temporary mismatch, but it can get very scary when we allow that to become habits, or for it to extend over a long period of time, knowing that that's not who we want to be. So when people ask me, I feel stuck, I don't know what to do, I think the basic things to do at the moment is to take a look at your environment, take a look at the actions and behaviors that you're portraying during the day, if they aligned with who you are and who you want to become. And I know it's really hard because we spiral down into matching how we actually feel about ourselves, because that's a direct match and validation on our feelings and how we feel at that moment. So I tell people to start with your environment, start with the people you hang around with, start with how you feel about yourself. And if those actions match who you are and who you want to become, rather than how you temporarily feel inside about yourself.